Hey guys, Miss Short here. Just sort of giving you an explanation of a more specific example of pedigree charts. And so we're going to look at two traits here. One is going to be considered normal, one's going to be considered the person having the trait. Now, I want to give you a little bit of background on what we mean by normal. Normal in this example is just showing you the person that does not have the trait, and then notice they're not using the word abnormal. And you don't always describe traits as normal and abnormal. You might describe them abnormal if you are looking at a specific genetic disorder, and we'll talk about those a little bit more next week. So this is just a relative term to describe the person that does not have the trait. So circles represent the female that does not carry the trait. The squares represent the male that does not carry the trait. Squares and circles that are colored in represent the female that has the trait, and then the square represents the male that has the trait. Horizontal line between two people, this line right here, means that these people are married. So this person married this person. Notice there's no connection other than that. And then a vertical line between two people would represent their kinship. So they had a child. This person married this person, had this child. Then their child married this person and had these children, okay? And how are several children from a marriage represented? They are connected with a horizontal line, but they also are connected with this main vertical line, which means that they're all siblings. So we're going to look next at what's specifically going on in this chart. So if we look at what happens in this chart, you have a female that carries the trait, and she obviously would have to be recessive for the trait if it's going to be carried on only in certain children, okay? And then she marries a male who is hybrid for the trait, and once they get married, then their marriage would be represented by a horizontal line. They have one child, which is represented by a vertical line, and it is a male. And so that male carries the trait because the male got this recessive trait from the mother, this recessive trait from the father, and therefore is showing the recessiveness of that trait because it's homozygous recessive. And then that male marries a female who does not carry the trait, represented by this horizontal line. And because she does not carry the trait, then the children have an opportunity not to have the trait. So once the Punnett square is done and you see this and they create the pedigree, this shows their children. All of their children, they have 6 children, are represented by this horizontal line, and then they are connected this way. So they're all siblings, oldest to youngest. And so what we get out of this is you have one male who is hybrid for the trait. You have 2 females who carry the trait, and then you have 3 males who also carry the trait. Now, again, let's go back to what I said before. This doesn't necessarily mean this is something normal or abnormal. This could even be eye color. So you're looking at normal being the person who has brown eyes, and abnormal, or the person with the trait, maybe having blue eyes. And so it would make sense that, and we've talked about that example several times in class, it would make sense that you're going to have the opportunity once that homozygous recessive trait inserts itself to have more opportunities for siblings and offspring to have those traits. And also remember, go back and look, this is your first generation, this is your second generation, this is your third generation. So every time a new connection here is made vertically, then you have a new generation. Okay, so if these children get married, they will bring in a new generation if they choose to have children. So that's how pedigree works. If you have any questions, we'll have office hours next week and we can talk about this, and you'll have an assignment that you'll need to do on Google Classroom that will be turned in that deals exactly with a pedigree chart very similar to this one. So talk to you soon. Goodbye.